So continuing the playoff prediction series videos, we are going to continue looking in Canada at this series as we have the number 8 Winnipeg Jets taking on the number 9 Calgary Flames. If you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below. Let's take a look at the Calgary Flames and the Winnipeg. So the Calgary Flames and the Winnipeg Jets, two pretty rabid fan bases up in Canada, and this is going to be an unbelievable series. I'm very excited to see what these two teams look like. You have the Central Division, Winnipeg Jets, and the Pacific Division, Calgary Flames. Now, the Calgary Flames had a great season last year, winning that Pacific Division. Unfortunately, they got bounced out in the first round. The Winnipeg Jets had a pretty solid season for themselves, but did not get back to the Stanley Cup final, which they're kind of hoping to eventually get back to. They have a good roster. Last year was really the year. They lost a lot of key pieces on that defense this past offseason, but they find themselves back in the playoffs. So we're going to take a look at the Winnipeg Jets to start with the head-to-head matchups. Power play is 20%, so pretty solid there for the Winnipeg Jets. It's not really an advantage for the Winnipeg Jets, but it's definitely, you know, it's efficient enough. It's definitely not perfect, but it works. Penalty kill, a little bit of a different story. Only 77%. That is below average. I believe the average is 79 or 80%. So the Winnipeg Jets, again, it's, you know, nitpicking, but again, that power play is not the power play isn't extremely solid. The penalty kill isn't anything to write home about either. Looking at the record, 37, 28, and 6. That's a pretty solid record overall for the Winnipeg Jets. Nothing to really complain about. I really like how they played this season, considering the circumstance of the team. And how many times have we had to say Paul Maurice may get fired, may lose his job, this and that. He's been able to keep his job, and the main reason is all the pieces he lost last season. This team is still pretty solid, considering the amount of skill that they have lost over the past couple of years. The big player I have for the Winnipeg Jets to keep an eye on is Sami Niku, the young defenseman. He has an unbelievable flow. Let's just get that out of the way. But he's also a very solid player for the Winnipeg Jets. Is a huge difference maker in this series if the Jets can maybe get to that next step of going back on a deep playoff run. That defense took a big hit last offseason. I think Sami Niku is going to be huge for this Winnipeg Jets team. Looking at the Calgary Flames, we've got power play percentage over 21%, so not too big of a difference here between them and the Winnipeg Jets, but again, pretty solid overall. You've got the penalty kill, over 82%, very solid there for the Calgary Flames, and that's because of that really solid defense they have there in Calgary. I think that makes a big difference for them in that category. Not to mention the structure that they have right now with that team just seems to be working and is a big difference considering where they are right now, the possible guys they could lose in the offseason. They have a stacked defense this year. Hopefully they can get things done. Looking at their record, 36, 27, and 10 on the season. Not too different from the Winnipeg Jets. A pretty solid record overall. Nothing to really write home about, but again, it's good enough to get in this play-in round and could be the difference for the Calgary Flames. Looking at their player to watch, I believe it's going to be Elias Lindholm. I think he's had a very solid season with the Calgary Flames. Probably one of the more underrated players in the NHL. I think he's starting to get his name more out there. The former early first-round pick by the Carolina Hurricanes in that trade that they made a couple of years back with Noah Hanifin. Elias Lindholm has fit in pretty well there with the Calgary Flames in the top 6, and I think he could be a huge difference maker in this series. Looking at the season series between these two teams, they met up 3 times. Back in September, they met up twice. A 4-1 victory for the Winnipeg Jets. The second meeting, a 2-0 shutout for the Calgary Flames. And right before Halloween, a 2-1 overtime victory for the Winnipeg Jets. Their playoff history is not available because they have not met in the Stanley Cup playoffs yet. I think this will be a great series overall. This could be very interesting, again, with the fan bases. It's a shame that we probably won't see fans in the stands, more than likely. It's not been officially ruled out, but let's be honest, it doesn't look very likely. I think that's kind of a missed opportunity because of how rabid these fan bases are. The whiteout in Winnipeg and the sea of red. there in Calgary. Definitely disappointing that we probably won't see that, especially for this series in particular, but that's just how things go. My predictions for this series, I believe it will go to 5 games. A pretty well-fought series, 2 teams that have some really good, high-potent offense, but I believe the offense will be enough for the Winnipeg Jets to get them into the second round. The Calgary Flames defense is pretty solid, but the big factor here, I believe, is goaltending, and I really believe Connor Hellebuyck has what it takes to get the Winnipeg Jets into the Sweet 16 Stanley Cup playoffs. The goaltending right now in Calgary is a little bit of a carousel over the past couple of years. I don't know how truly reliable it is, and I like the odds with Connor Hellebuyck in between the pipes. So I have the Winnipeg Jets winning this series in 5 games. So leave in the comment section down below, what do you think of my predictions? Who do you have winning this series and in how many games? Leave that down below. If you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.